Hey guys, I hope you're having a great week. My week's definitely gotten much better. Today, I just kind of want to talk about people, like us people, as a unit in the universe, us like beings upon this planet. Every summer I go to this, it's called the Girls Retreat. My sister's mother throws it, and my sister invited me, and I've gone the last 3 years. And this last summer, there was a bunch of us sitting on the porch talking, and my sister's mom goes, "We're all just walking each other home," meaning that we're all just, life is this road we're traveling, and every person you meet is just another traveler, and we're all returning back to the earth one day, and that's walking each other home. And kind of when I got a little goosebumpy. But yeah, when you think about it, that's like such a beautiful sentiment. And I think especially now, like with all the chaos and how quick it is to feel hate-filled with everything going on. It's a nice sentiment to have in the back of your mind, especially when you're dealing with people who grind your gears, to quote Peter Griffin. But yeah, because you're not going to get along with everyone. It's not, you don't have to like everyone. You're not supposed to. Everyone in your life is there for either a reason, a season, or forever, they say. And as nice as the sentiment is, there are people that are going to grind your gear. I've had an instance this last few weeks. There's this woman out there, a way older woman, who does not like me whatsoever. I've had 3 conversations with her. I'm very sweet, short, to the point, courteous. And I found out she just does not like me and the way I live my life. And she has a lot of comments about it. In fact, I made a little short going on. I don't wish her ill will. And I see that her needing to talk about me and say things that, it's not just me, it's my entire family, my husband and my children too, which kind of set me off. But I have to remember that that kind of person is coming from a place of hurt and stuff. It's coming from a place of lack within themselves, It's coming from this place of lack. Something within my life reminds me of a lack in theirs, and it bothers them. But rather than looking inward, it's easier to look outward and hate on that thing they see than to be like, why is it bothering me? A trick I've learned over the last few years is just to imagine everybody who upsets me as their inner child. Because when you see, imagine them as, the little child inside that's hurting, that's upset, it kind of makes it easier. It kind of makes it easier to be more empathetic, sorry. So, but yeah, as I was saying, everyone's in your life for either a reason, a season, or, life. I'm sure you can look back on your life. I know I can. And there were people who were there for just long life or short life events, maybe just a night. Sometimes, like I said, there's people with you who will be with you your whole life. Family members that you cherish and whatnot. But each person is there for a reason. There's a reason they're walking that path with you. Like I said, frequency, soul tribe, but they always have something to teach, or you have something to teach them. There's I personally, I need to always preface that, don't believe there's not something we can teach someone or they can't teach us. Every person can be beneficial in some way to your life. Even I know there's some people out there who really take the cake. They you never want them in your life again. But they're beneficial because they teach you those aren't the people you want in your life and what have you. So that's kind of the idea for the reason or season. Some people are just there because, you know, you're going through a trying time. And like, those are, I think, some of the most miraculous times, because you will have just the most amazing people just slide into your life during those times. And you know, it's funny, as I've gotten older, there have been people like I've lived with in my town my whole life, and you know, went to school with, but we never spoke. And now that we're older and we're like rediscovering it, like we should have been like friends all along, but it was never the time for it. And you know, I've mentioned divine timing, and I'm gonna tell you about me meeting my husband, because by how we lived our life, we should have known each other. Like, he dated my best friend's older sister's best friend. We were both there at the same house many times, never crossed paths. His mom was best friends with a friend of mine's mom. I ate at the same lunch table as his cousin. You know, both our families were from Indiana. His brother was only 2 grades older than me. He dated some of my friends that just, we weren't talking at that particular time for whatever reason. But it wasn't until like I was 19 that 18. I met him at 18. We didn't start seeing each other until I was 19. But it wasn't until then I met him, you know, and the world seemed to shift. And like, my life changed for the better. But that's like a really significant thing. But there are some people that come in your life. There is this one man at the Waffle House. He came in and he just randomly, I was talking to my friend because I had a stomach ulcer at the time, thought it was stress. It still might have been stress. But he's like, what do you have to be stressed about? Because I was like 18, 19. This is around the same time. And he was really, really elderly. And I was like, naming all this stuff. He's like, no. He's like, there's no reason to stress about it, because it's not going to change it. It's not going to stop. He's like, life's going to happen. Whether or not you stress on it, it's you. And it's just now, like, it's finally sinking in. But that sat with me. Like, I still remember everything he's wearing. I still remember how I looked. Never knew his name. But that 1 minute, and that kind of brings me into, you know, I'm going on about this, like, human connection, how we're all connected, and what's that relating to be psychic? Well, we are all mouthpieces of the universe. I know there's been many a times I've been talking to someone and I felt those full body tingles where I knew what I was saying was a direct message from source to that person, either be it their guides or, you know, sometimes it's spirits, sometimes it's, like I said, directly from source. One time, it was not that long ago, it was me telling someone to follow their dreams about writing a book. One time it was, you know, an aunt coming through because of her niece was going through a really hard time. And then sometimes it's just nudges. Like, I had a nudge to get a hold of this friend and check on them, and they were not doing good, you know, and just things like that. Like I said, we are all connected, and you are going to get nudges to, you know, say things, even off the wall, gentle things, you know, because as I started this, we are all walking each other home. We have to be there for one another and love one another. You know, we might not necessarily like each other. That's okay. You can dislike someone and still love them. You know, you can be angry. You can disgusted, disappointed, whatever. But at the same time, we are all just humans. We are all placed on this earth, just living life. No one knows what we're doing. No one knows anything, really. We just wing it. This need to be right or wrong makes no sense when you consider it's all really just an illusion. It's all a simulation. You know? But I think that's all I have to say today. This might have been a long one. I hope it made sense, or, you know, brought some happiness or some, like, sorry. I just gotta tickle my throat. Brought some, like, resonation. I hope it resonated with someone, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Have a happy Thursday, a happy rest of the week. And yeah.